Oh, I don't know where that's gonna go.
That's okay. Watch. Okay.
Oh!
Had to make sure it was. Now let's give it some. It's enough fridge noise, I think.
Yeah, it's
I think I just the right amount of.
there's gonna be a
Who wants to intro us? Is it? I mean,
I'll do it.
You'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do the escape.
So what I'll do is just for future reference, we'll do if we're feeling saucy. But usually if we have 3 people, I think that's upstairs.
Remember that, Nathan, for the. Is on?
No, you'll get it. No, it's fine. I'm just gonna wait for that to.
Taking a bite of pizza.
Oh my god almighty.
Someone's taking a massive shite.
What if they're showering? We're fucked, aren't we?
No, that's a toilet.
Alright.
I know a toilet sound anywhere. Yeah, let me get some water real quick. I'm parched. I've been drinking coffee. Stay awake.
Oh, they wash their hands.
What?
They wash their hands.
There was another brief moment of water, and I was like, oh, please don't. And then it was like, oh.
Yeah.
That wasn't a full minute. You
Okay.
degenerate fuck.
Okay, let me think of a brief summation line. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ringside Casuals, the wrestling podcast that has the newest fans possible. And here with me today, I have Nathan.
That's me.
And Sal.
Hi.
And I'm Josiah. And today we're going to just kind of jump into this week's Raw and SmackDown and just talk about it. Basically,
Give our input, our fresh baby-faced input of not being in this for very long at all.
Yeah, and not going crazy in depth, or hopefully not going on a bunch of rabbit trails
not yet.
certain other series we've done. This is just going to be us being like, hey, this happened. I liked it. I didn't like it. You'll get the feel of it. You'll just you'll figure it out.
We are the light tower of hey, you don't have 20 plus years of toxicity.
Yeah, no, I think definitely the thing that would distinguish us from some other podcasts that I do listen to that is quality content is that I've only been watching Raw and SmackDown consistently week to week for about 10 episodes pre this last WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So that gives you kind of a good idea of how long I've actually been consistently watching.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been consistent ever since Extreme Rules, which we went to.
No.
When's the one that set up Extreme Rules?
We went to the Everett, Washington Raw that featured the Dead Man showing up. And setting up Extreme Rules, and then
it's just they play that clip so many times in Extreme Rules, and
absolutely,
yeah, it all blends.
And then we watched SummerSlam almost live. I think we started watching right after it ended.
We did,
yeah,
because that's when I got home.
And then Extreme Rules, I think we watched. Did we watch that kind of live or no? We watched the day after together.
Same as Smackville. That sounds right. Do you remember Smackville?
Oh, I forgot about Smackville, the 1 hour pay-per-view with was it only 2 matches?
It was
an Elias concert.
And Elias.
Oh.
Don't you love Elias?
No.
Yeah, let's talk about something that we do like. Let's talk about Sasha Banks.
Oh my god, my wrestling waifu.
She's great.
One of many, but still.
Yeah.
She's so great. And so we don't, again, us being people who do not have prior knowledge of a lot of things, Sasha Banks kind of showed up and we're like, who the fuck is this? And then she kicks Natalia's ass and we're like, oh, I like her.
Well, because Sasha Banks, she hadn't been seen since WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So based on my understanding, because my understanding of the whole, I'll say grand storyline, certain people get left by the wayside if they're not super important.
Yeah.
So Sasha Banks is kind of oh yeah, that chick with the pink hair, and then she shows up and
she's
reveals the blue hair, the boss, and she shows up and it was oh okay, so she's transformed her character radically.
Yeah, and I really enjoy having a female heel that's not just Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans.
Even though I like Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans, I kind of go back and forth.
I know I can see that Lacey Evans is a quality performer and wrestler.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
her character and what she's doing.
Her character could be something really great,
It could
but
be.
I think it's just not there. Like she could be like the female triple. I think anytime we see like a character who's like prim and proper, we're always like thinking like how could they become the next Triple H?
Yeah.
Like Hunter Hearst becoming. So like in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, no, like Lacey Evans could become the most badass like person in the women's division by far.
Yeah. But I loved Sasha Banks' little thing of just like not really addressing why she's just brutalizing people, but just being like, I'm the best. And I'm like, I respect that.
She's got like some bitterness, but it's more just like haughty, like cockiness.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
It was and then she kind of fucked Becky Lynch, which isn't something you usually see unless it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, because Becky Lynch is kind of like she has that on the champion buff.
Yeah.
Certain people have the buff because otherwise they would be destroyed.
We will talk about the man himself.
Well, there's two of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sasha Banks comes out as a great heel. I love her.
She's good.
Let's go to King of the Ring, because then we have our match. So now we have. So the first round is over now. Yes. After this Raw and SmackDown.
Does anybody remember how long it's been since they did a King of the Ring? Isn't it like 4 years?
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And on this podcast, in this house, under God and everybody, we are Ricochet.
Yeah, I'm Team Ricochet.
And I saw a lot of talk on Reddit about it. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to be King Drew. And I'm like, no, it's Ricochet.
I will say when he came out on the mic and was like, we need a King McIntyre, I was like, I can kind of see it. That'd be really cool. I already knew it was going to happen beforehand.
Yeah, but like the way they're billing it is like, it's an up-and-comer. It's a fresh one who needs the jumping pad. And I'm like, McIntyre's been around for a while.
He's been around for a while, but he's still, I feel like...
He's still newer, but
he's still newish.
But Ricochet is like, it's his first year on main roster.
Yeah.
I was also, again, with our limited experience, I've known him as like Shane McMahon's butt monkey.
Which isn't what he was.
I know, but it's nice to see him on the mic and doing shit for himself. And it was a really...
That was a great match. Yeah, that was a very good match. Like, obviously, because, again, I'm not experienced, so I'm not sure. I just understand it to be that, the actual rehearsal process is very limited to, like, specific difficult moves. Yeah. But Drew and Ricochet had a very natural dynamic that made the fight very memorable.
I think, to me, it was one of the best, like, I think that was one of the best examples of seeing someone whose gimmick and fighting style is I'm really big, heavy, and stronger versus someone who's really quick and agile, and seeing like because normally from examples that I've seen, it's either very one-sided or like typically in favor of the heavier person.
Like when AJ fights Braun, it's like, oh, clearly Braun's just big.
Yeah. That one was pretty one-sided. Yeah. He needed the OC to back him up.
He actually needed the OC at that moment.
But there was a pretty good match between Mysterio and Samoa Joe a little bit while back, where Rey Mysterio actually beat him, and I was like, wait, Rey Mysterio wins a match? This is crazy. No, he didn't even win a match in All In.
He can't win a match. He was in All In. How dare he? And by the way, just starting it now, just let anybody know, at the moment for this episode, we're just covering Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Once NXT goes to live television and we get access to it and figure out a way to actually watch it, we'll do NXT as well. And then we'll also cover AEW once it starts to go on TV. We're not going to do pay-per-views until after it's already on TV. Yes. Because we're behind on watching them because of just our schedules.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I came in towards the end, but you guys watched the last NXT TakeOver. Which was awesome.
Great.
Was really good.
Yeah, NXT TakeOver Toronto was fucking amazing. Johnny Gargano deserves all the respect and praise that he could possibly get and more.
You know who else deserves praise? Baron Corbin.
He won.
I kind of guessed. I mentioned this earlier in the chat.
Poor Miz.
I think it was kind of, I didn't want to believe it, but let's just say it, like, the Miz is a jobber, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so depressing, because when you have someone who's that good on the mic and just, like...
He's great on the mic.
He owns the whole stadium, like, and everyone cheers for him. Like, everyone is like, Miz is awesome. But, like, from everything I've seen, he just gets beaten and beaten and beaten and beaten.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, because beforehand it was him just for a month. It had to have been a month of just Shane McMahon and Elias and Drew just beating the shit. Like, it was always like, oh, look, this is where the Miz gets his revenge. And it would always be like, oh, look, the Miz ambushes Shane in, like, the in the warehouse or, like, the garage, where the limo is. Yeah. And then just he loses. And it kept happening. And now it's just him getting the shit beaten out of him by, well, anybody. Dolph Ziggler a little bit, and then what?
Last one?
It did happen.
Oh, did we just miss it?
No, I think you just forgot about it.
No, I swear that was... Okay, so, all right, subterfuge gone. We're looking at summaries so we can remember.
I kind of don't know.
Hey, kayfabe.
So it says Bailey versus Nikki
Oh,
Cross.
yeah, we have to say. I forgot to mention this before we started the episode, or got into it. We're watching the Hulu versions.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we're watching.
Which do cut out, on average, 2 matches at least.
Yeah.
They have, I have to. It's like an hour and a half cut out.
So I swear that was Bailey versus Lacey Evans.
Mm-hmm.
No, Bailey versus Lacey Evans was SmackDown. That's the SmackDown that just happened. Raw.
Okay,
so for all the wrestling fans who watch it live, just know that apparently that Bailey versus Nikki Cross got cut out of the Hulu edit.
Yeah, it did.
And if you don't know what that is, so basically, like, Raw will air Monday night.
Yes.
And on Tuesday.
Tuesday
morning.
Mm-hmm, Hulu has, I think, a deal probably with them where they upload a version of the episode that's like, it's like an hour and a half always.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they have a deal with them and that's the reason why NXT, maybe not now, the deal might get renegotiated, but NXT gets uploaded like within a week of the episode being out, whereas like Raw is like a month. Raw and SmackDown are a month behind.
No, I think NXT is like immediate because NXT like is on the network. That's
sure,
yeah,
but it's still just like way faster than Raw and SmackDown, where it's like a month later you get the full episode, but it's not even the full one because the actual like when we went to our first live event, which was great, it's like 3.5 hours, if not 4.
Yeah, but there's also like main event happening.
Well, there's main event and there's like commercials and shit.
There's pre-show.
And there's the pre-show. But even so, like, you're still, when they upload the 2-hour version, like the version of our episode, they cut out the bit of us booing. Was it the Revival?
It was the Revival.
We booed the Revival into oblivion until they literally could not do their promo and they had to leave.
Yeah, they're like, guys, give us 2 minutes. Please give us 2 minutes.
And
because if you can remember back, if you've seen them all, there was the bit where Daniel Bryan like got disqualified for some weird thing, and then him and Rowan couldn't participate in the match.
It was,
and then after that, the Revival got on mic and started, and in the edits, it's always they cut the commercial, and they come back and the Usos kick them twice.
Yeah.
But in ours, there's about 4 minutes of the Revival on mic. They start out by dissing Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Which is poor decision in Washington.
Very poor decision.
And then we literally boo them until they literally ran out of time and the Usos just double kick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was because again, we don't have cable, so I don't know if that's in that original live broadcast.
It probably was.
It had to have been.
Either it had to have been or they just... Because sometimes for the live broadcast, they do cut to commercial while a match is going.
That's true.
They do that.
Yeah.
I know there's some debate about it. But...
And maybe that was a time, but yeah, so I love tweeting at the Revival and saying, yeah, we booed you in Everett.
Yeah, no matter what WWE Network says, we know what happened. Yeah. I was there.
So getting back on topic, I don't remember Bailey versus Nikki at all.
We didn't see it happen.
So we didn't see it happen, so I'm sorry if you loved it. I'm sure it was great.
I'm sure it wasn't because Nikki Cross lost.
I'm sure you loved a Bailey segment.
No, I don't.
We are not a hugger section over here.
No, we're not.
Bailey's terrible.
RSC. I almost said the Escape Pod.
I mean, in a sense.
I think you said Bailey's like a Zumba instructor.
Yeah.
Like, not even like a really good one.
No. Like she
looks like she looks like she like made fun of me in high school.
Well, like Bailey's like look,
who didn't though?
Look, I'm sure Bailey's like a good enough person, and she's like
I bet she's awful and
no, she kicked Charlotte Flair. She's evil.
Well, listen, like here's the thing: is like God, Bailey is just boring.
She's milquetoast at best.
She's milquetoast. Like she's like the tan valley girl who like she's just really nice, but she really isn't.
Yeah,
and she just wins.
I'm really upset that she doesn't have a move that's just her crushing somebody with her hug. Is that a move?
No, well, because she can't lift them. Like, right. Do you think she's gonna lift Charlotte Flair with like a?
I'm really sad. I never watched the match where she got the title from Becky Lynch because I'm like, how did Bailey?
It's so bizarre. Because like,
remember at SummerSlam she had that boring ass Ember Moon match. I fucking hate Ember Moon. But anyway, let's talk about the tag team turmoil, which was probably one of my favorite bits of the whole episode.
So yeah, and
it's only because of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
They're a good tag team.
They're really good. And also, it felt really nice to hear Glorious again. Because I knew about Robert Roode before I started really watching wrestling again in our stint that we're on.
Yeah.
And so I knew about Glorious. I knew about Robert Roode.
Yeah.
And when I went to our live show, he was one of the pre-show jobbers. I mean,
oh, that's right.
He was the first thing we heard, and I got really excited.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, no, because my boyfriend loves Robert Roode because Let's Player uses his song a lot and stuff. So.
Oh, yeah.
So I heard Glorious, and I was like, oh my god, it's Glorious. I know this guy.
But
he just, it's weird. Because, like, I'm playing WWE 2K19. Because it was on sale. So super fucking cheap. Yeah. And the first time you get to WWE, you have a big feud with Robert Roode.
Nice.
And it's like the Intercontinental Champion and shit, and like he's a really big deal, and he keeps showing up.
Right.
But nowadays, it's really interesting playing that game a year removed, right?
Sure.
And seeing like Rusev, Jinder Mahal,
all these people who aren't there,
all these people who are like not around anymore, and it's like, ooh.
and I mean, like, yeah, granted, there's some stuff in the edits cut out, but like nothing that's a quote unquote main storyline. No. So I still count that as them being like not there.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, except for whenever there was that one match where Andrade beat Rey Mysterio, then it turned out to be a big deal for the next 3 weeks, even though it was cut out of the Hulu edit.
So speaking of things that have been and should be cut, the tag team turmoil with fucking 8 teams going at it.
Yeah.
1 at a time, or 2 at a time, I guess it would be.
Yeah, it is that two teams start, and then as one gets eliminated, they get the new one comes in.
Yeah, which is completely fair. But, so it starts with the Viking Raiders and the B team.
Was that their name?
Yes.
I gotta admit, I kind of phased out.
It's literally the B team, which is...
They were also the team that at our live show, you and me both went to the bathroom for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Yes! No, I remember, because you guys left when it was Raiders versus B team.
Yeah.
And then you guys left, and like there was like 2 cool moves, and you came back, and I was literally like, you guys literally picked the best match, because I was there for the whole thing. You missed the one match. I can swear to you right now, that match was like totally fine to miss.
I think I know I went to the bathroom for the beginning of this too, because I was like, oh, it's the Vikings and the B team.
I was cooking food, and so I walked in and was like, oh, okay, they're Vikings.
So sorry to those fans. I don't remember what happened. I'm sure it was wonderful. But the B team lost, and then the Vikings fought the OC.
Again, fuck the OC. I hate how their thing is we're the original, the official, the only club, and it's like you're a hack ripoff of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Which is already a ripoff of other clubs before it. Yes. So you're so fucking removed.
But is the OC better than the Revival? I think that's the big thing. I personally think that they are.
It's just an argument of whose poop is...
Well, because right now they're the same characters. They're literally like, these guys are just teamed with AJ.
Yes.
And these guys are teamed with Randy Orton. So
I think that the OC is better because the Revival, my biggest problem is that they have no fucking mic prowess whatsoever.
No.
They suck on mic.
As we proved.
And they just... The Revival is just 2 dudes of the same build who look almost the exact same.
Yeah.
They're just like 6-foot-something white dudes.
Like, at least the OC, and one of them's taller and has like makeup, and it's like, okay, I can distinguish them in a match.
Yeah, and it's nice. And they have and they had that like little plot where they corrupted AJ, and like they have like...
Yeah, no, I liked that.
Whereas the Revival was just, yes, they're with Randy Orton, who's amazing, but Randy Orton just like said, oh, you also don't like the New Day. I don't like the New Day.
I'm not pleased with what they're doing with Randy Orton.
Yeah, whereas the OC went out of their way to corrupt somebody into their team.
But it was good because it was realistic. Yeah. Because they were like, it's like the peer pressure of, hey, we used to know you. Remember those good old days when we just like crushed everybody? And AJ's like getting older, and he's like, oh, these younger guys are like competing and like beating me, even though I'm like one of the best in the world. And so like it's realistic that he would go, no, I want some of that power.
Exactly. Whereas the Revival's whole thing is
they just showed up.
Is that they don't do any cool moves, they just punch people. And I'm like, but this is sports entertainment.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be entertaining in a sport, and all you do is just, I punch people.
I will say, I have, like, as much as I don't like what they're doing with Randy Orton, I do like that the OC, like, they haven't, like, they're not saying that... No. Oh yes, the Revival.
Yeah, sorry.
I like that there's
interchangeable.
Fucking see.
I get them confused all the time.
Yeah. I like that in the past few appearances, they're literally just Randy Orton's butt monkeys, and they just come out to help him. Like they pop up. Oh wait, I'll talk about this when we get to SmackDown. Never mind.
Anyway,
but
then tag team turmoil. The OC and the Viking Raiders. They do the thing the tag teams do all the time, where they just break the rules.
Well, I think everybody agrees this table, and I talked to Lee about this when I was at work today, but I think everybody's kind of agreed that like tag team matches, if they're not great, they're the worst possible type of match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because literally in a singles match, there's a reason why there's stipulations.
Yes.
Like there's a reason why there's a no DQ or because like you will get disqualified.
Yeah.
And like I've almost never seen a tag team match where someone got disqualified except like the weird Daniel Bryan one. But like that was so odd that we didn't even know what was happening because there were so many people in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like when someone gets DQ'd in like a singles match, it's like, oh well, because they broke the rules. Like you used a chair, you will get, or like even triple threat matches, it's like, well, it's technically 3 singles going at it.
Yeah.
Whereas in tag team matches, it's always like you get to do 1 move, and then it's like, but then they did like 5 moves, or they don't get disqualified.
Yeah. The ref counts to 5, and they're not out of the ring yet, and no one fucking cares. Or ritualistically, whenever someone's trying to get the pin, the other team will come out and just hit them,
and it never affects anything,
and it's fine, and that's supposed to be seen as, oh, it's good sport, it's good teamwork, it's good.
The thing, I think what makes it especially bad in tag team is that there are moments where they go out of their way to go, one of them distracted the ref, and that's why this person was able to do something that would have gotten them disqualified.
Because
they'll do something right in front of the ref that should be a disqualification, and it's like, I get it, wrestling's fake.
Because they can distract the ref,
and that's fine.
And they're not in the ring. Like
yes.
it's there's no rules about you being unable to say something to the ref.
Yes.
Like there's no rules about that in a tag team as far as what the universe has set down.
Yeah.
But
the universe has clearly said if the ref didn't see it, it didn't count.
Even if it's recorded, if the ref didn't see it,
because he's the official.
The official, he or she is the official, and only what matters, like in the actual calls in the match matter.
Yeah.
You can't be disqualified after the fact. Unlike some sports teams where it's like, well, in that game they were using steroids, so this person disqualifies their team or something. Yeah. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So I can go with those rules, but yeah, I think tag teams are just, they have to be really fucking good for me to like.
And they aren't.
No, they're not.
By and large.
I'd say percentage-wise, 30% of tag team matches are great.
I was going to say like 20, and being generous.
Braun and Seth are the tag team Raw champions.
What the fuck is that?
That is without a doubt poor writing.
If that's not indicative.
Look, and here's the thing.
When you just showed me that you have 8 other tag teams that are all of like quality in their own way. Even the B team, even the Viking Raiders, whatever, they all have like talent because they're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And none of them could have gotten for it? No?
No. And it's like for the that's Clash of Champions, right? Where they're gonna face off.
Yeah.
So Braun Strowman wants all the titles now.
Yes.
Even though like for months he was just kind of the guy who didn't give a shit. Like the whole point was
they made him fight Bobby Lashley.
Oh god, yeah,
I'd want some titles.
I mean, I get it. Like it's like that storyline was kind of like,
and Braun's like, had to go through an LED. Really?
He's like, are you serious? But now he's like eyeing the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then he gets the titles with Seth, and that's kind of cool that it's like they're like, for the first time ever, like 2 people on a tag team who hold the tag team titles are gonna compete for the Universal title, and then it's like, and then I forget what the other additional thing was. Oh, if Braun gets the Intercontinental title or whatever, then it's winner takes all. And it's like, but do they keep their? I guess they just keep their tag team title belts though.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that tension's been set up. Nope. They kind of just said like they teamed up, and then immediately after their first match, Braun is like looking like Gollum at the fucking ring. And
well, no, I would argue that it does build up with Braun, because first he saves Seth from the OC.
Braun and Ricochet save Seth from the OC.
Oh, that's right.
No one likes Ricochet.
Shut the fuck up. Everyone should like Ricochet. He's a sweet baby boy, and I love him.
Yes. So he saves Seth from the OC, and then he is like helps him up, and he like grabs his belt to hand it back to him, and he does look at it for a second, and it's like, okay, he wants it, passes it on. Then they do their.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's just like the way I first interpreted that was that he didn't. He looked at it and was like, "Nah, I could take this, but I don't want to."
Me too, yeah.
Well, I think,
but it's kind of after.
In retrospect, now I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
he is.
I saw it more as I want this, but I have to earn it. I can't just like take it.
Sure.
That's how I saw it. And then I think from there it has built up more and more. But getting back into the tag team turmoil.
God, I love that you're the mom right now.
There's gotta be one person.
I'm watching the timeline and I'm like, okay, we're talking about a couple weeks ago. Okay. Anyway,
it's professional wrestling. It's all intertwined. It's hard to like talk about just the.
Listen. If every episode of Raw and SmackDown every week can have a 17-minute recap of the Roman Reigns plotline, so can we.
It's only like 3 minutes.
I hate it.
So the OC and the Viking Raiders get double disqualified. I don't know why. Because it's tag team.
Because they were both both members of each team were in the ring hitting each other for like a minute.
Oh,
okay.
I'm sure that doesn't happen at all. Anywhere else.
No.
Who's next?
No.
So Ziggler and Robert Roode face off against the Lucha House Party, and they're both fresh teams.
Oh yeah, the Lucha Job Party, right?
I don't remember. They won. I'm sure it was great.
Roode and Ziggler are
and it was glorious.
It's kind of like an open secret that Ziggler was gonna leave once his contract went up, and then they were like, "You can't." And
it was a handshake agreement with Vince McMahon
because he was jobbing. He was losing to everybody.
He was gonna leave like a week or two ago.
They literally like made him lose to Goldberg, not because I couldn't buy that, because I bought that and I liked it, but it's like
because he sold it. He sold it
because Ziggler's a great actor, but it's like. It's still like they literally bring out Goldberg to humiliate him like 3 times in a row,
and they don't let him go.
And Kevin Owens
know he'll
beats
go
him
to
in 17 seconds.
Yeah,
they know he'll go to AEW.
Yeah,
but
or they'll treat him.
Anyway, continue.
So they faced Lucha House Party. I don't remember it, but they won.
It was great. And I was a moment where we were like, "Is this gonna happen?" Because you and me watched this Raw together.
Yeah.
So it was. We were like, are they gonna? Is this gonna be what it is? These two?
we were. Yeah, as soon as Ziggler and Roode came out, we were like, please win. You probably won't because you both have been getting fucked by the WWE forever. But I really want you to win. But then they won their first match. I'm like, okay, that leaves like 3 more.
And then they fought Ryder and Hawkins, which was cut from the Hulu edit.
No, they fought the Revival.
No.
Then Ryder.
Okay, yeah, they fought the Revival. Fucking kicked their asses. It was great.
Yeah.
Then fought those guys. Cut from the Hulu edit.
Yeah, the Ryder and Hawkins was cut from the Hulu edit. So, and it was done so well because it cut right after they beat the Revival, and then it cut, and then when it came back, it was right after they beat Ryder and Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Can we get a break, please?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's understandable now that I like get that."
Yeah,
we just
right.
And then you and me were so excited and screaming, we're like, "Oh please!" And then all of a sudden, Heavy Machinery came out. And we both went, "Oh fuck, they're gonna die."
Yeah.
Because as much as like I don't like Heavy Machinery that much, as like. I can't understand they're really good at what they do.
They're great wrestlers.
It's just when I hear
Otis brings out like deep psychological fear. Like literally like the Wyatt family doesn't bring out as much like fear of the Deliverance hillbillies as Otis does. Like way more than them. There's something about like the way his eyes move and the way like I know that's the character. I know that he's not like that much of a weirdo, but the way he's like thrusting.
How did I say it to you? Otis looks like he's constantly hearing dogs barking.
Yes. He's like thrusting like in the corner of the ring when he wants to go on. It's like
Yeah, he doesn't just turn his head; he like tilts it really intensely. Like
it's also as if like he was George Clooney Batman, and he couldn't actually move his neck. He has to like shift his body weight.
But they are talented wrestlers. I like some of their combo moves.
Yeah, and they're growing on me. I think they are entertaining. I just don't like it when the main part of your gimmick is we're rednecks. And it's like.
Give me more.
Well, all right.
Give me the Wyatt family.
Give me the Wyatt family.
A little more. I'm watching wrestling. I know there are rednecks. Like you gotta. That's a given almost.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I like them more than
nobody breaking his redneck. They don't want none.
They don't want none. But I do think they're like the better version of the Viking Raiders.
Yes. I would agree 100%.
As was my morning stool. But what's the next match that we have?
So then we have Natalya versus Sasha after Sasha's been shitting on Natalya for a couple weeks.
She puts up a decent fight.
Well, I'm talking psychological.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Natalia, who can do the sharpshooter because she's Canadian. And so was Bret Hart.
Oh.
Ipso facto. And
Taps forehead.
And I was like, hey,
rag.
she also has the same color scheme, so maybe I'm sure that we will get people. Well, actually, no, because we're posting this not on YouTube yet. But I'm sure we'll get people going, oh, if you watched from the beginning, you'd realize they set it up. Blah, 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 blah. From what we've seen, she's Canadian. She has pink and black like Bret Hart. Ergo, she can do the sharpshooter, and that's stupid.
Becky,
I think we should develop this over the course of episodes, but we need to have like a rating system where it's either a match is either stupid or like phenomenal or something like that.
Absolutely.
what's Becky's submission move again? I forget.
Becky's the armbar.
Becky's armbar versus my superior sharpshooter. And I'm like, what a great promo that. Oh wow, that's good.
So back,
she almost corpsed.
Backstory a little bit. So Natalia was kind of being a heel to Becky Lynch.
I didn't mean to do this. I'm sorry.
But Becky Lynch was kind of being a heel too.
Yes.
So Natalia like calls her like a bitch or whatever and says, "I'm gonna tear that greasy mop off your head." And they fight, and Becky Lynch wins, of course.
Yes.
And in her own in Natalia's home country, and then they bring in Sasha Banks to be an even bigger heel who makes fun of dead heel. Parents, and so
makes fun of her dead dad and shit. And I'm like, you're great.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the legit boss.
Natalia kind of puts up a good fight, but she loses, of course.
Yeah. Again, I don't remember.
And Sasha Banks, again, like I think she has really good mic presence.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Her body language too is like she doesn't need to have a mic to like display
what she's feeling
as a character, which is nice.
And then we get our.
This was cut.
Was this cut?
This was cut.
Was this not the?
I don't remember this.
I think you're right. Oh yeah, you're right.
Did you watch Cedric Alexander versus Cesaro?
Cedric Alexander versus Cesaro got cut.
Yep.
All right. Well, so that was the end of Raw.
I'm sure Cesaro was great.
I'm sure he was really good.
Because Cesaro is the future of WWE.
Doubt me.
But
so I think it was a pretty good Raw. I think it wasn't amazing. It wasn't phenomenal.
Are you sure that like the end of it is just the tag teams, wasn't there? Or the Banks versus Natalia? Was there anything after that?
Anything else?
I thought there was.
What does Bleacher Report say?
The fuck up. Bleacher Report
Kayfabe
said that it was Cedric Alexander versus Cesaro.
Was that it? No, there's more, right?
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I could have sworn
there was a lot of ads. Fucking hell, Bleacher Report. So after that, we have the Braun Strowman AJ Styles match for the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
Which is, again, we kind of mentioned earlier, it's sort of like, it's the big man, small man fight, but like, Braun just trucks through AJ Styles.
I thought it was going to be more even, but no. No, Braun Strowman's kind of like, his power scaling's pretty consistent.
I will agree.
I would say.
I think he's kind of the juggernaut.
Like
I think especially in this match, like he threw AJ out of the ring, then he does his little around the hole. He does
Rhino charge.
Yeah, he does a lap around, smacks him, and then continues to do another lap.
I like Braun Strowman as Rhino in the next Spider-Man film.
I could see it. I'd like that almost as much as Paul Giamatti. You know.
Yeah, almost.
Well, he'd be in it too, but we have to, different. Anyway.
But yeah, so he just kind of bulldozed AJ Styles, and there was a lot of visual satisfaction from that.
Yes, because fuck AJ Styles. I mean, he's a wonderful wrestler.
Yes.
When he's a face.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of funny how the Raw we went to was not only the dead man showing up to set up Extreme Rules, but it was the last episode where AJ Styles was like
a good person,
pretty much a face.
Yeah,
because he started his path to darkness pretty soon after that.
And that match ends, by the way, the Braun AJ match ends with the ref gets hit outside the ring.
Yep.
Then because the whole thing about the match was that it was just AJ and Braun, and then all of a sudden once the ref is out and down, the OC come out, they're all attacking Braun. They got chairs and shit.
Yeah.
And then they're smacking each other, they're smacking up Braun, fucking him up, and then when the ref gets up, Braun has a chair in his hand and is thinking about hitting AJ, but doesn't. Yeah. And the ref's like, "No, I heard you hit him." Disqualified.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And then Braun hulks out and
and
then beats up the whole
That's
OC.
such shitty writing.
It was good.
Also, can I just say, there was a moment or two where they were like, "Oh, Gallows knocked down Strowman," and I was like, "How? That's Like,
I think that was last week.
No, I think it was in this because he had Gallows like kick him in the face.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love Gallows versus Strowman is great because Gallows is the big man of the OC, but he's not as big as Braun Strowman.
No,
yeah.
So no, they have to constantly have Gallows. They have to have both of the OC like using all their powers.
They always have both the OC because they suck.
I mean, yeah. When you
together, they're almost one whole wrestler.
I was just gonna make the joke, so
I'm sorry.
That's fine. So then after Raw, of course, comes SmackDown.
And SmackDown was, I think, stupid.
It was
here's so
stupid.
It was something.
So
it was stupid.
Okay, I took the joke from you. Now you talk about what we talked about the other day.
So
yesterday.
there's an elephant in the room that I don't think we've addressed yet, and I'm sure because we're doing a wrestling podcast, we're gonna have wrestling fans listen in.
Hi, by the way,
and judge our shitty opinions with their shitty opinions.
That's how the whole thing works.
That's wrestling.
Yeah, that's wrestling. So I just have to say there's a word of wisdom that I've heard from a man I respect, whose opinion I respect, and I'm going to share it with you now, and know that it is my opinion to the bottom of my heart. Kofi Kingston is stupid.
Yeah, we are anti-Kofi Kingston party here.
As much as I love Ricochet, I dislike Kofi Kingston. And that is no mean feat. I do not like Kofi Kingston.
At all.
He could teach John Cena how to be more boring.
No, John Cena's fun. Like, yeah, John Cena wins all the time, but he's funny.
He's
charisma.
He's the doctor of thugonomics.
Like, he's funny. Like John Cena at least like makes you like love him, even if it's ironically.
Yeah.
Like those people who chant Cena sucks, like they have affection for him. They just don't know how to display it because it's just hatred.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like a love-hate relation. Whereas Kofi Kingston, I'm just like
he's just stupid.
He's just boring.
Yeah.
Like at best, I think he's boring, and at worst, I'm like he is literally like warping the story around him so that he can stay champion.
Yeah. I really. Because of the New Day, I think it's a sliding scale of like Kofi Kingston is like the worst.
Yeah.
And Xavier Woods is like, I like you.
He's a bit better.
And I think I love Biggie.
Biggie's pretty great. Like I'd say I think one time I said like if you could combine the New Day into one wrestler, it would be an actually great wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you take Biggie's charisma, Xavier Woods' selling, and
Kofi Kingston's story.
His story
and Kofi
Kingston's athleticism.
And Kofi Kingston just consistent winning.
Also, so to give you an example of you said he like warps the narrative to stay champion.
Does.
Let me like for those of you that have watched, I want you to like remember this. Yeah, so at SummerSlam, we have the build up. We have the build up to this episode. Actually, no, it's the build up to Clash of Champions that is still building up this episode. So Randy Orton is beating the shit out of Kofi, really good, and it's really satisfying. And then he looks at his kids. And he just looks. He looks at them.
But the kid's mad dogging him.
Yeah.
They're in the front row.
Yeah, and they're like leaning over they're
yes.
like, and Kofi Kingston brought them, and then Kofi Kingston freaks out, beats the shit out of Randy Orton, and so many people booed, and it's like, oh, is this a heel turn for Kofi? Is something gonna happen? And then like the next Raw or the next SmackDown, he's like, oh, I just protected my, and it's like. It's just, no, I'm still a face. I did the right thing.
Yeah, because so the reason why Kofi Kingston is stupid, other than a lot of reasons, is because so you bring your wife and your children to a front row seat with a fight against the man that's called the Viper. Who protéged under a man known as the Cerebral Assassin.
Here's the reason it's stupid. Because here's the reason it's stupid. Because no matter what way you think about it, it doesn't make sense. So Kofi Kingston, just by Randy Orton looking at his family, is like, oh shit, like Randy Orton would hurt my family. I need to show, I can't let that happen. I have to destroy him right now. But if he knows that Randy Orton is so deadly that a look from him the wrong way is enough to signal your death, why would he bring his family and put them in the front row seat to a match with Randy Orton at SummerSlam when both of them are going to be like doing everything they can to destroy the other? Like,
yeah,
it's either he's willfully he's willfully ignorant and like endangers his family, or he's an idiot.
No, he's stupid.
He's stupid. Because and the only other way to look at it is, well, because of like reasons they can't have Randy Orton actually physically threaten his family, because they're not wrestlers.
Yes.
So they can't actually physically threaten them. He has to just look at them. He doesn't even say anything like, I'm going to take...
He looks at the kid.
He just looks at the kid, and the kid's leaning literally like halfway off the barrier. And I'm like, yeah, I would look at him.
Snarling at him like a fucking dog.
It unintentionally makes Randy Orton look like he was just kind of casually looking over like, Kofi Kingston's stupid family is there? And then just like Kofi Kingston goes berserk and gets a buff for some reason.
Yeah. And also what's dumb is that to work the narrative further, Kofi's like, he threatened my family.
That never happened.
And it's like, no, he didn't until this episode. Then he finally actually
but see, that's the point, is that should have happened at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yes.
It should have been like at the end of the match.
No, before the match. Or like maybe
before the match. But because it's this weird like, oh God, it almost feels like it was like part of an angle that just was weirdly pulled off at SummerSlam, and they had to like.
It's almost like Kofi is representative of a demographic that they don't want to portray negatively.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
I'm talking about pancake lovers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I thought you mentioned Makins.
But Kofi Kingston also is just like, he kind of just wins.
Yeah. He just wins. And there's no reason why he wins.
And sometimes the New Day cheats, but they're faces. And nobody ever acknowledges it. They're never like, oh, wow, looks like the New Day are fighting dirty to support Kofi to keep him champion. No, they're just good people.
And I swear to God, every time he does his like WWE champion, the thrusting gets slower. And it's like, it just goes on for weights. There's nothing
Baby. And every time I'm like, can you... I think I mute my computer whenever I'm hearing that bit happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, please shut the fuck up.
But anyway, the episode opens with Randy Orton literally like... So Kofi comes out and says his bullshit about how Randy Orton fled in fear, which was another like warping the story where I'm like, Randy Orton is like...
Scared of a
chair? And he, like that Kofi's winning, he's just backing up. I'm like,
I mean, how would you be afraid of that chair? It took him 18 years to put it on his leg.
Oh, God, he's such a terrible wrestler. But anyway... Kofi Kingston can't sell that his hand was smashed in the steps like an episode later. Like, I was so grateful that on the SmackDown, Xavier Woods didn't just come out, because I was
expecting it.
Because they've done that so many times. Like, oh, Xavier Woods got the literal shit beaten out of him, completely fine the next episode.
Because Xavier Woods can sell like a motherfucker.
Yeah. That's about what the best thing he can do. Is like
he can really fucking sell.
He can scream, he can like clutch his limbs or whatever's hurting. And so when they were like, so Randy Orton's like, I made Kofi Kingston see us destroy his brother, Xavier Woods. Yeah. And they like jump on his knee or whatever, and it's like, oh, he actually like hurt him. And then so Kofi Kingston comes out and is like, I made Randy Orton scared, and he threatened my family, and he made this war happen, and Randy Orton's gonna like get beaten up by me. And I'm like, given your character, it's probably gonna happen.
And I'm gonna hate every second of it.
And then Randy Orton just goes, wait, and then he proceeds to call him stupid about 29 times in a row, and it's great.
Yeah. Oh, it's really good. And he reads a letter that he got from Kofi's son. And it's the best thing ever. I love the opening of this skit, because it's finally him going, oh, if I wanted to hurt him.
He's at the same hotel.
He's at the same hotel. I don't have to write a reply. I can just go
I don't need to be pen pals with your son, Kofi.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then Kofi gets mad and goes back and has the dad buff berserker rage and beats the shit out of Randy Orton again. And it kind of deflates that whole thing.
And it just ends.
Yeah, I love how like Kofi and the New Day get RKO like weeks in a row. Then like Kofi gets like one good hit on Randy. He's like, oh, look who's scared now. Look, it's like, shut the fuck up, you idiot. Yeah.
So
stupid idiot. Yeah.
Like if it was like Dolph Ziggler or Sami Zayn retreating in fear, it'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense because that's like their character. But like Randy Orton, it's like, no.
Yeah, so I really goddamn hope he beats the shit out of Kofi at Clash of Champions. I doubt he will, because they don't want him to lose, which is, great writing.
Why am I
That's good shit. That's good shit. I love how Kofi inspires the youth. That's good shit.
Remember that shot of when he goes to Africa and everyone's like inspired by him being there?
Nathan, this is the first episode. You can't do this.
No, that's a factual thing that happened. He didn't make any statement on it at all.
Did I say anything?
I didn't say anything.
I just said they used the exact same shot of him going to Africa that one time and everyone being really excited that he's there. And that's like, hey, this shows he's a good person, right?
Even though his team cheats all the time, he's an asshole.
Stupid.
You know who doesn't cheat?
Buddy Murphy.
What a great wrestler.
So before we talk about Buddy Murphy versus Ali, I want to talk about a theory I had. I don't know if I shared it with you. I shared it with you, so we watched SmackDown together.
Yes.
So you have this mystery plotline with Roman Reigns, which is stupid.
Yes.
And it's bad.
We'll talk about it.
The best thing about it is Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
Who was not supposed to be in this plot. He was in the background just doing whatever. Some fans on Reddit saw him. They're like, oh, that's Buddy Murphy. And the writers were like, I guess Buddy Murphy's not going to be in this plot line. And then he gets turned into some plots. He fights Roman Reigns for like 14 minutes or something. It lasts.
It's a
really great match.
He does real good.
Even though he loses, he shows that he's a fucking good wrestler.
Well, in universe, they even acknowledged it in this week's SmackDown, where they were like, "No, he pushed Roman Reigns to the limit," and it's like, "Oh shit!" For them to admit that about literally like the face of the company right now.
Yeah, secret's out. Like it's great. And then the next week he beats Daniel Bryan, who fucking like in one night didn't he defeat like Batista and like.
Daniel Bryan's power scaling is insane.
Yeah, so
he's gotten much weaker since he's gone more heel, but
but Buddy Murphy fucking kicked his ass. So I have a theory that Buddy Murphy was always supposed to be in King of the Ring.
Okay.
And that he was supposed to be a job for Ali.
Yeah.
Oh,
because you think about this. Ali, who is good. But the fact that Buddy Murphy lasted 14 minutes with Roman Reigns and brought him to the limit and almost beat him. And defeated Daniel Bryan. But got fucked by Ali.
In like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. It does seem like they kind of were like trying to... They incorporated him into the storyline and were like, oh, this will make the match at King of the Ring more tense. Yeah. But then they just kept with the original plan.
Yeah, but if Ali, Buddy Murphy would have happened before the Roman Reigns mystery plot, whenever he like fought Roman Reigns, you could say like, oh man, he learned from his lesson. He got beat by Ali in his first match and now he's back for like,
Yeah.
And that would have been great, but like, I feel like... because they had this before that, it feels a bit weak. Because you look at King of the Ring tournament, Apollo Crews is obviously a job for Andrade.
Yes. Yeah,
which sucks. And then his next opponent's either Chad Gable or Benjamin, whatever. They're both job for him for Andrade. And then if it's going to be either Elias or Ali, they're both a job for Andrade.
Well, not necessarily.
Maybe not Ali, but definitely Elias.
Maybe because I guess I don't know if Shane would actually.
They're pushing Andrade really fucking hard.
That's bad, but
they're really pushing him.
Like they literally had Rey Mysterio get almost unmasked by fucking Andrade, and they make a point of it. Rey Mysterio's like, no, like that is like the greatest dishonor you can ever do, but because it's Rey Mysterio, he can't get revenge for it.
Yeah, and I never lost 2 falls in a row, Charlie.
That was bad. I remember watching that match, and I was so, like, I know that he jobs. Like, Rey Mysterio, it's tragic, he jobs. But the fact that he didn't get 1 fall out of a 2 out of 3 falls match, that's embarrassing. That's against Andrade. Tragic. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah. The best thing about Andrade is Zelina.
Yes, I wish she was in the women's division, and he just didn't exist.
That'd be great. I would love that.
Because she's, like, attractive. She's talented, like I don't know.
She's good on mic.
She's good on the mic.
It's like if you had Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, but you like transferred like 50% of Macho Man's charisma and talent and put it over to Elizabeth.
Yeah,
like that's just Andrade and his chick
Zelina.
Yeah.
Zelina Vega. Yeah, so the Ali Buddy Murphy match is good, and I love Buddy Murphy literally picking up Ali and tossing his twink ass.
But Ali did close that move where he swung around his head twice.
Oh, that was so fucking amazing. Good. Yeah.
Like they replayed that like twice. They're like, oh my god, that DDT. Like the commentators were like, oh, we didn't.
And then afterwards, Ali's face is like, holy shit, I did it.
It's really good. Yeah. Like I enjoy Ali matches. I'm glad he got a win, but I'm sad that Buddy Murphy didn't get a win.
Yeah,
maybe because the positive response to Buddy Murphy, even though he followed the plot line of losing in this match, maybe he's going to stay and be a bigger part of the roster.
Yes,
I hope so.
Well, who knows?
Think so. I hope so because Buddy Murphy's really fucking good.
Yeah, well, because I don't see how you can do. Well, I do see bad writing, but like I don't see like a good way to like have him not be at least somewhat involved in this whole Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Rowan, fake Rowan, which can I talk about that real quick?
No. We're on Sami Zayn and Nakamura-san. All right?
Oh, thank God.
Because I don't know if you know this, but Sami Zayn is not Japanese.
What? He looks just like one.
I know,
but he holds a kendo stick in his opening.
Is it a kendo stick or is
it
really?
Like a? It has a flag with SZ on it.
I don't know. It looked like a kendo stick, or
they subtly just change it so it's a kendo stick.
Yeah. So here's another kind of unpopular opinion. I feel. I really like The Miz. And I'm very sad that he just is a jobber and loses to everyone and everything. Like, and so The Miz shows up and everyone cheers him because The Miz is phenomenal.
He's great.
And he's like, hey, Sami Zayn, you're this little shithead that's just following on a way more talented wrestler's heels to like cling to anything.
Yeah.
And he challenges Nakamura to a title match at Clash of Champions. Then Sami Zayn comes out and is like, I'm Sami Zayn. And I can't do his voice. And just kind of lambasts him on the mic, as Sami Zayn wants to do. I really enjoy Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn is not stupid.
Well, we talked about it like at the live match we went to. I was like, Sami Zayn just kind of annoys me. And then I watched him in live, and I'm like, no, like I really like Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he's great on the mic. He's a complete jobber as a wrestler, but
But he's not incapable. He's very good.
He is talented when he's allowed to show that he's talented.
Yeah. But I
Rey Mysterio effect, yeah.
Yes.
But I love the Miz just completely questioning their relationship and going, "What do you have in common? What is it?" And he's just like, "Oh, you don't respect art, man." And I love it
because the Miz is in like movies.
Yeah, and I love the Miz like getting like hardcore onto him, and he's just like, "Why don't you come in here and treat me and teach me about respect?" And they're just like, and he of course refuses because he'd lose. But then the Miz comes out to get him, and then Nakamura shows up and beats the shit out of him again. And then Sami Zayn holds him in place so he can continue to beat him.
And Sami Zayn's literally like howling like in pleasure.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's
break his face.
It's a bizarre.
And he's like orgasming. It's wonderful.
It's such a bizarre like relationship, but I kind of love it.
I love it because it's the complete polar opposite. When you said you never expect to Sami Zayn's like matches, I was like, the Fiend, because I'm just like, what's the most out there?
So like typically I watch the episodes the last of the three of us, but the episode where Sami Zayn and Nakamura teamed up, I watched it first, so I was able to go into our group chat and be like, guys. There's a team up that you'll never expect.
And I did
and I was like, it's Sami Zayn and somebody. And just like...
We can guess like 20 different... And some of them were jokes, to be sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was still just like, okay, out there, we'll try it. And then it was just like, no, it's Shinsuke Nakamura. And I'm like, are you serious?
It's almost... And I went to see it, there's a bit of like, what? And then, this makes perfect sense.
It's so good. Like, I don't know how much...
It's like Ziggler and Rude, where it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe you're right.
I love Sami Zayn's like spastic energy complimenting Shinsuke Nakamura's like drunken, out of this world. Like,
what do you compare Shinsuke to a Soul Calibur character? And the moment you said it,
Shinsuke Nakamura is, if you could get anybody for like a live action film or just like a fan film or anything. If you had to get someone to play Voldo from Soul Calibur, it's Shinsuke Nakamura, because he, like, I swear to God, that man is like half the time he's on mescaline, because he's just gone. Like like Shinsuke Nakamura is either like one of the best like actors in WWE, which is probably true.
Yeah.
But he's also like, he has this weird thing where he like is like half doing like a drunken style type thing, but he's also just like this savage beast that will like tear your head off.
And
it's also like touching his nipples and orgasming. Yeah.
He's
there's no middle ground. He's either in like this berserker rage of just ripping you apart, or just like completely out of phase with reality, but can somehow still kick your ass.
I feel like he's like in the metaverse.
He like perceives reality differently.
Yeah,
like he's
woken.
He's woke Shinsuke.
I would love that arc. Oh fuck. Bring back the Hardys. But have woke Shinsuke. I don't care.
But we were talking earlier about how tag teams are unfortunately kind of like bad. But then, hey, just right there, Sami Zayn and Shinsuke, and then Rude and Ziggler. It's like,
well, I wouldn't. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke are not a tag team.
Okay, well,
give it time.
I mean, I want to.
Vince might hear this and it's good shit.
It's good shit.
Maybe now I won't want it, but.
Oh, gone.
Sorry.
We shouldn't do what the fans.
Oh, that's what fans want. Oh shit.
That's bad shit.
That's bad shit.
It'll be good having Bailey win again.
Let's bring back Bobby Lashley. Come on.
He's muscly.
He helped me shave Donald Trump that one time.
Oh. Yeah.
So
Donald Trump, WWE Hall of Famer.
So Bailey versus Lacey Evans. So first it starts with Bailey and Ember Moon talking, and I went to do something else because I value my time.
I actually watched that segment, but once the fight started, I took a piss.
I was actually designing the logo for the show at the time.
You were literally like, what's more worth my time? Designing the logo so I can talk about everything in the episode but this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, C minus. Thanks, Bleacher Report. I love you.
But I enjoy. I was happy. It was really weird because we were just talking about where the fuck did Lacey Evans go?
Yeah,
and then
she had that plot where she's like almost in love with Baron Corbin. And they were like the heel version of Seth and yeah.
That was weird that that's just dropped.
Well, he lost.
I know he lost, but like
people lose all the time. Okay,
so like, so what they were doing with the storyline is they were doing like a mirror image.
Yes.
Of Becky and Seth.
Correct.
So, yeah, no, absolutely. That's what's there for.
They're eating popcorn of some sort.
Well, now I am.
It's caramel and cheese popcorn.
I'm providing.
But anyway,
kayfabe.
So if you're writing this and you want them to be a mirror, and then they fight in a match and they lose.
Yes.
So the relationship either has to be, so when we were saying we didn't care about anybody else but ourselves, we're just mutually like helping each other for this. Either that's true and they betray each other, or it's not true and they actually do care about each other to an extent, but they don't want to admit it. And you push that storyline way more of like this kind of weird,
and give
like
them both something to actually do.
Well, Well, to be fair, we know for a fact that a lot of Baron Corbin shit has been getting cut.
Well, he's not a good actor.
Well, yes.
Like,
so it's possible that there's something there.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I wouldn't cast him in Shakespeare or anything.
I would actually no.
But King Corbin.
So Bailey and Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
I don't remember it very well. It didn't leave an impression.
It's the cool thing is Charlotte Flair comes out and is observing.
Yeah.
And she's in like street clothes and of course looks great.
Yeah.
But
those are some of the nicest fake tits I've ever seen.
I'd say that's in the top 10 best fake tits of all time.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of them.
Yeah.
But now onto other tits. So the Big E fights Randy Orton, and they're great. They're huge.
What, Big E's pecs?
Yes.
Yeah, they're really nice.
They're impeccable. Even
I didn't see this coming. Like when Big E just came out of his dressing room by himself, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill Randy Orton." I was like, "Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see this. I'm way more interested to see this than him fight Kofi Kingston again."
I mean, it made more sense that he would be pissed about Xavier Woods and Kofi than Kofi seeing Randy Orton look at his family and then go into a berserker. Like it made
Yes.
Big E's a better actor, and he like it made way more sense motivation wise that he was like, right now I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Like I am going out there to kill this man.
No, I remember he knocks him on his ass and he's like, "You got hell to pay, and it's me."
He was very vocal. He was like, "It's time to pay him.
Yeah.
It's time to pay him. You want to go?" Yeah, it was
good.
Yeah, it was very satisfying. Of course, he got RKO'd, and that's also satisfying.
But Randy Orton needed the Revival to come out to distract Big E.
They'd only distract him for a second on that first one, but then they set him up for a super RKO.
But he parried one RKO, and then they did. Then they did the super RKO, which is so funny to me that it's called the super RKO. I wish it was called the revived RKO.
Yeah,
just because it'd be like, I get it.
And again, I just love I'm sorry, almost slipped again. I love when the Revival comes out, and both of them they're like a foot shorter than Randy Orton.
Oh, it's so funny.
They're like little gremlins that just come in and like, we're gonna help you out, and he like shove them to the sides, like pick him up.
They remind me of the goblins from Sleeping Beauty.
Oh,
like those little guys, the pig guys that run around. That's what they remind me of.
I can see that.
No offense, guys.
None taken.
No offense. You guys
on the short one.
Improve your gimmick.
What gimmick? But the Super RKO, they kind of let them off easy.
They honestly, yeah. After all they've done, that was a pretty.
So as I was watching it, I was like trying to analyze this from a character point of view. Like, so Randy Orton and by extension the Revival, they get off on like showing power over someone.
Yes.
So like they were like getting off on showing Kofi Kingston, his friend, like going through torture.
Yes.
But since nobody else was around, they were like, "Well, he's unconscious. There's no real enjoyment to be had. We're just gonna kind of leave him there."
Yeah. Well, I also love so he beats Big E through cheating, of course. But he beats Big E. They play his theme, and while that's happening, he sets him up for the Super RKO. And then they turn it off because it's like, oh, they're still fighting.
Yeah.
And then it's like pretty much over, and it turns on again. And then he gets up in the corner and does his like hands in the air.
I feel like Randy Orton was like, "Are you playing my theme song? I'm not done. Stupid."
Then we have Elias and Kevin Owens.
Which
Elias comes out for some reason. I forget why.
Yeah.
Wait, is this before or after he meets him in Shane's room? This is after. So he meets...
Because there's been these weird promos where like Kevin will go into Shane's office and like be really humble for some reason.
The way I interpreted his performance was he was like, is Shane here? And he's like, no, he's not here. And then I almost saw it as like Kevin going, so I can beat the shit out of you and he won't find me?
Yeah.
So that's entirely how it played for me. He was like, Shane's not around.
Yeah,
okay. And he was kind of just like with an attitude of, see you later, Elias. And then later on, Shane wasn't around, so he beat the shit out of him.
And they do a little montage of 24/7 title shit that Elias was going through.
Yeah, that was bad.
And I continue
with Fox Sports since SmackDown's going to Fox.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then
it's like, Maverick tries to get it, and he does it.
Drake Maverick, dude.
I gotta say, like, during this segment, I consciously was aware that this was happening. I just purposely did not absorb any information. Like, R-Truth's like running by some footballers. He has like a football in his arm and freeze frames on him.
There was definitely some willful tuning out for me as well.
Yeah,
it's like,
I agree.
I don't need this.
The 24/7 championship is a fucking joke.
If you like it, you're wrong. You need better taste.
I'm not saying you're watching wrestling wrong,
but
I am.
I'm not Patrick Willems. But the 24/7 championship is weird because that's a fucking zigzag on our opinions on it. We were at first like, this is stupid, and then we saw it live, and then we realized they were cutting out segments from Hulu, so it would like jump, and then suddenly you miss like important segments of the 24/7 championship, and some of that might have been on 205 Live for all I know.
Yeah,
sure.
But like now, it's just like you can't keep doing the same joke 30 times.
Because all it is R-Truth v Maverick. It's not anybody else, really. Like,
no.
Every once in a while, like Elias will come in and take it for a little while.
The pregnant champion.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Pregnant champion. I'm the pregnant champion. I'm the pregnant champion. I'm the pregnant champion.
If you go back to that clip, you can watch EC3 or whoever just staring off into like the void. He's literally like a Dark Souls character. He's like, if you look at that, it's like the camera like shows there's another person in front of him, but if you look right when she's going pregnant champion past everyone, you look in the far left corner, EC3 is literally like staring at like the void. Like he is about to be consumed.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I saw an article where it's like, it's a breath of fresh air. It's one of the great new things of WWE, and I'm like, I've never wanted to kill myself more than when I watch 24/7 championship segments.
Did you mean The Fiend? I think that's what you meant to type.
So then we have Chad Gable versus Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
I liked that one little segment where he was in an interview right in front of his door, and then he put a sign on saying he's short. And that's the joke. The joke is that he's shorter than most wrestlers. Yeah. And then they fought. And then the shorty won. And
he did.
Yes, he did. Come up. I don't care.
This match is to facilitate
the job that's
Andrade.
Yes, it's literally a job match.
If Chad Gable beats Andrade, I will stand up in my chair and be like, "Wow!"
That would be unexpected.
Vince, you madman.
Didn't expect Chad because as soon as I saw them on the SmackDown side, I'm like, they're not going to become King of the Ring.
No,
of course not.
No, God no.
If they did, that'd be like, what?
So now, finally, right. We can talk about it.
The attempted murder arc of Roman Reigns.
Right.
So this. Who wants to go first?
I want you both, before me, to talk about how you perceived, processed, collated, and evaluated this murder plot from like its inception all the way up to when they were like, we're going to reveal it, and then how you felt about that, and then when it actually happened. I want you to like explain how you processed it as like as stimulus to your brain.
So when this first shown as being a thing, and like Roman was attacked at the very end of a SmackDown, and I was like, who could it be? I was like, okay, interesting. And so in my mind, I imagined this was going to be a ongoing thing where Roman would be constantly backstage, kind of like trying to figure out mystery stuff, and there'd be matches for it occasionally. Yeah. And there'd be, and then the next week, he got attacked again.
Yes.
And then it was like, oh shit, okay. This is interesting. And the next week it was like, Buddy Murphy saw who he was backstage. You might have saw who it was. Yeah. He saw Rowan. It was Rowan. And
then they got that dramatic shot of where Daniel Bryan and Rowan have been watching from their side. Like they're like, it was so dramatic and
And then you have like Rowan attacking Buddy Murphy and being like, "Get your name out of my mouth," and I'm like, this could be great. This could be really fucking, because if you have like Detective Roman Reigns in the back talking to all the jobbers like EC3 and shit, and like and it could be revealed that like maybe it was EC3, like wanting to take out like, And it goes beyond Roman Reigns. They're attacking Daniel Bryan.
This could have been like a year-long
They're attacking
storyline.
Kofi Kingston.
Maybe not a year long. Maybe like 3 months. But
they're attacking like Randy Orton. And then like, and Roman's like kind of like Detective Roman Pikachu, where like he's like in the back like talking to all these people that like, you don't normally get the chance to see.
Yeah.
And it gives them a time to shine. Of like, oh, I was and it also gives them a chance to like show how good they are on mic. Where it's like, oh, I saw, Rowan doing this and this, and then I saw EC3 doing this and this, and I saw blah, blah, blah. And then like, we have like multiple suspects, and it's like, well, who could it be? Who could it be?
Yeah, I wanted multiple suspects.
And then like at a pay-per-view, boom, oh shit, it's announced, and then they fight Roman Reigns.
And they like beat him.
And it's or something. Like just something. Just like, drama, storytelling.
They use the investigation and him fighting all these other people to tire him out, a la Nightfall with Bane and Batman.
Yeah,
where he just tires him out and then beats him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it could have been a good thing.
Then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't. To quote the fine Haley Grace, who you can check out on Instagram and Twitter. But
No, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
plug good people.
She's great. And that's how I saw it going. That is not where it went.
No.
It went completely downhill. Like a turd in the wind. It was terrible. It was it's Rowan. Then it's like, oh, how are they gonna shift blame away from Rowan? Will there be another attack? And Rowan's like clearly not the one doing it.
Yes, that's what like in every mystery story ever. That is exactly what would happen. Oh, you were right in front of me, and I was accusing you of trying to kill someone. Oh, look, another murder happened.
Like with what they did with Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Sure. They literally did it earlier in the arc.
Because they were turning, it was like a moment where I'm like, is Samoa Joe going face? Because like Roman almost gets killed by the car, and Samoa Joe feeling like some national pride and some like kinship with this fellow warrior.
The Samoan Summit.
He feels this kinship. He's like, get a medic over here. And it's like, oh, what, Samoa Joe caring about people's health and safety? That's so unlike him.
Yeah.
But then what has Samoa Joe done other than like participating in King of the Ring?
And then it's Rowan, and it turns out it's Rowan. That's it.
Okay, Nathan, you come at this because I have things to say, but
I had pretty much the same thing. I would have liked it if there was like a mixture of like tension and also like comedy. Like I would have loved to have seen like Roman Reigns go up to like Triple H and be like, "Are you trying? Are you serious?" Like going up to like Hall of Famers or something. Like and just because it's fun and I agree. I do really like that they do the classic murder thing of, oh, it's Samoa Joe. I'm gonna then he almost gets attacked. And then how Samoa Joe just gets like taken out of that equation.
He's literally like Roman Reigns exonerated me. Bye.
Well, no, it's so funny because he's like, oh, you accused me, and he said he was sorry. I don't forgive him. I don't forgive any of you. Why? And it's like, all right. And then
they have the Samoan Summit, and that went everywhere.
No. No, it didn't.
But yeah, so then you have the reveal, and Daniel Bryan claims that he did DNA testing of the crime scenes.
Well, because they had that guest announcer who was like, I have lawyer friends, and they tell me that Daniel Bryan has been doing some extensive research.
Yeah, they had that little dropped line where it's like, oh, legitimacy to what's happening.
Yeah.
I was saying it, I'm like, it's a fake.
And I gotta say, like, as soon as
it's
like
false.
they bring in the hooded figure and then they like leave him alone in the room and he does nothing. He's like not tied up or anything. There's literally just shots of him just like chilling on his chair.
Listen, this pissed me the fuck off. Because especially this week, when they show the previously on, and so much screen time is spent to, oh, it's a fake Rowan who clearly is like has different hair color than the red beard that he has.
Yeah.
And it's like for when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's like maybe Rowan's like brother or some shit. Like at first I was like not assuming that it was Rowan because I'm like, well, that's like obvious.
Yeah.
But then this week they never mention that guy by name. They never like Daniel Bryan when he's like, we brought you the individual who did, and I'm like, no, if you did an investigation, you should have, like, a name. You should, like, have an explanation for why he did it. And, like if you want Roman to apologize, like, you should identify who this guy is. Because the reason it's such a weird moment is because you see that cliffhanger ending and you're like, oh, who is this guy? There must be something about him. But since there's nothing, it makes you go, Daniel Bryan, why are you so foolish? Like, why do you, like, assume it's this guy?
Yeah.
There's nothing that would make you believe Daniel Bryan would just think it's him and not find the truth.
Yeah.
It's not like Rowan deceives him as far as we know.
He has to first hunt the truth.
Go fuck yourself.
So then, as it turns out, fake Rowan is not the real Rowan who attacked him. It was, in fact, the real Rowan that attacked him. And I swear to
That's
God,
a shock to me.
I swear to God, they like refilmed it so that he was more clearly there. Because I think we've seen the shot of the crates falling over.
Plenty of times, hundreds of times.
And he was not there. And then in this one time, it's like, oh, there he is. And it's him like really like slowly like shambling off.
Now suddenly the camera is like wider out and now showing that. And it's like, why didn't you ever find that beforehand?
Yeah, well, because
I would have loved like having, like, again, mystery plot, having Roman like in the camera room or in the editing bay with people, with the actual behind the scenes people go,
because
I need to see the footage from.
Because Roman says, "I've seen the footage," which means from his point of view, he watched what we watched.
Yes,
but because then we're presented with, the footage is slightly different, and it's like, well, of course I couldn't have guessed who did it because you changed the footage. Yes. It wasn't like clever how you hid who it was. It wasn't like Roman went down and go, what happened to that 5 seconds of footage? I was just removed. We don't know who did it. Like the Attack of the Clones thing, where it's like, I'm sorry to say, but the footage you're looking for doesn't exist. And he's like, well, what happened to it? I don't know. That never happened, so I'm just like, you cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this plot is now, I guess, done.
No, it's not done.
Like, you killed it.
I mean, the only good thing that came out of it was Daniel Bryan getting profusely depressed of his betrayal.
That was really good.
Is this his career-altering announcement?
No. The career-altering announcement
got dropped
because he was probably gonna quit.
I go to AEW.
That's my theory. I thought that's what it was gonna be, but no, that's not what it. Because at first I thought the career-altering announcement never got picked up. And now, Daniel Bryan's announcement is that he's going to win by whatever means necessary, and then he tries to kill the competition, I guess. But no, he's completely innocent, and we are left with who would tell Rowan to kill Roman Reigns.
Listen. Daniel Bryan screamed at the top of his little Washington lungs, "I hate liars. I always hate liars. I hate liars." And I thought that when he said it the first time with Buddy Murphy, it was him being coy.
Sure, yeah.
And being like, oh yeah, you're a liar. I hate liars. It's because you lied about Rowan. And being in on the fact that it was Rowan, but now it's like, he didn't think it was Rowan.
No.
And he was fooled.
But I don't know how.
But how?
Listen, and Nathan,
it's almost like too much and yet not enough screen time is put on this arc.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what it is. The wrong things were stretched, and the right things were short shrift. Because Daniel Bryan does fucking great job with this. Absolutely, how do you work with this material of this setup? The eventual moment when he strikes Rowan, that's actually pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Just because they're literally there's been no conflict between them at all for months.
Yeah.
And it's cool, Daniel Bryan's actually acting, or the way he storms out and is absolutely furious is great. He's not given great lines, but he's acting his ass off. But it's if the arc just ends there as a way to separate them, and there's no higher mystery about who convinced Rowan to do this and how was Daniel Bryan duped, and if he was duped, why did he do DNA tests
that pointed to
fake Rowan, which is a false dichotomy, because I did DNA tests, but someone said it was Rowan, but he said that he lied, and I believed him. So if he lied, why would I just assume the guy looks like Rowan? Yeah. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't it's shoddy.
Again, the best thing that could come out of this is if it's actually just the Wyatt family resurgent. I don't think that's what they're doing.
But it's what it should be.
It's what it should be.
It's what it should have led up to eventually.
Because the way Rowan reacts to Daniel Bryan hitting him is one of confusion.
Yeah.
He's not it's not a defiant no, I did what had to be done to get you up and above. Because they could have done that. They could have done the scene of Rowan going listen, Daniel, you've been losing. You lost to Kofi Kingston.
You lost to Buddy Murphy.
You lost to Buddy Murphy. This is the only way that I could ensure that we would keep going up. And then Daniel Bryan's no, because I'm I'm a heel, but I'm an honorable person. I wouldn't do that. You betrayed everything you stood for. But they didn't do that. So the fact that Rowan was confused, I was oh, maybe like Bray Wyatt still has some control over him, and you think like, oh, the Fiend's like this big scary Hulk monster, but he actually is like really tactically brilliant.
Like, if this would have all led to like, you know, a pay-per-view where Roman has like Rowan and Daniel Bryan on the stage, he fought them both in like a handicap match.
Yeah, he had to fight both of them.
And they're on the ground. Roman's like, "Tell me who it was. And then just, and you're like, "Oh fuck, it's the Fiend."
And then you change it so the laugh starts it.
Yeah,
because it's like, it was me.
And then it's like, oh fuck. And then like months of like Roman trying to find the mystery that leads to him fighting the fucking Fiend after just having to fight Rowan and Daniel Bryan.
And you could totally have this bit where Rowan like tries to defend Daniel Bryan from the Fiend, but the Fiend just goes, no. And then Rowan's like, and he can't do it. And then he just like, and it's the moment where he just turns to like beat the shit out of Roman Reigns. He's like, oh fuck, man.
I'm so sorry.
And then it's Daniel Bryan and Roman versus Wyatt and Rowan. That could have been
again
really good.
If they have good writers, they could do that. I don't think they'll do that.
By the way, Vincey, we are free. Not like free of charge, but we are our schedules.
I mean, you just heard like fucking gold. So if that's not enough of an endorsement,
I'm telling you,
and we just made that up.
That pay-per-view that match would sell so good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting on my Fiend match to show.
I mean,
for SummerSlam.
I'll always say yes to more Fiend, but I think the fact that the Fiend, Bray Wyatt returned, and then Rowan is implicated in a murder that is very like weirdly out of character and sneaky for him, and then also he looks confused when confronted on the truth. Just makes me go, the way to tie this together that makes sense is that like he is hypnotically being controlled and he doesn't realize that like the influence never left, because way back when Bray Wyatt freed him and Harper, he voluntarily said, you may go. They didn't like really break free. Like other characters like Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton kind of did the whole I'm on the dark side, but not really.
What would have been good about this is that the Fiend has been ritualistically attacking people who have left the company and have come back to capitalize on their fame. Mm-hmm. And even though Roman Reigns left because he had leukemia, could he still fall under the criteria?
Sure.
But that could have been good. Like, you know, because that's what the Fiend's been doing recently. He's been fucking up people who, like, our old timers are coming.
And when I say the Fiend, it doesn't have to be the Fiend. It could be like Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Did it. Like the one side does the violent attacks, he does the planning.
Yeah.
Like you could totally do that. Like that's honestly what it would probably be.
But in any case, the Roman Reigns murder attempt plotline really went to shit, and I don't think it's going to recover. But that's a good way that it could. Any other thoughts, comments on this week's Ringside Casuals of
Ringside Casuals? I think that it was an alright week. I think that I'm glad this is our first episode because it's sort of like we're testing the waters a bit, and this is a good week to do it since we got King of the Ring stuff, and Ricochet won, my boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just it's. I enjoy seeing the garbage fire that is the SmackDown plots of Kofi. The big plots are Kofi and Randy Orton, which is just like, I hate Kofi.
The SmackDown champions suck because it's Bayley and Kofi Kingston. Yeah. So you're at a disadvantage because everybody who's fighting them is immediately more interesting.
And the SmackDown tag team champions are the New Day.
Yeah. So again, like you're fucked. Like at least with Raw, you got Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. I like those characters.
And Seth Rollins.
And then Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, I like those characters. And then AJ still has the Intercontinental.
AJ has the North American. No,
it's Intercontinental.
Is it? No,
it's United States.
Yeah,
he's the United States champion.
There's too many titles.
Shinsuke is Intercontinental.
Yeah,
and then the North American title is the NXT one.
That's God,
that's a fuck, man.
It's so confusing. There's too many titles, in my opinion.
Just wait till AEW comes out with all their own ones.
I don't know. I think they're going to keep it pretty simple because they only have one division right now.
Yeah.
So they'll probably have like
a men, women
tag team. Probably like 4. Which is easier to keep track of than Universal, World Heavyweight, United States, Intercontinental, Tag Team Raw, Tag Team SmackDown, Women's Tag Team SmackDown, Women's Tag Team Raw, and then those same ones for the women. But yeah.
Speaking of Women's Tag Team, maybe a good point. Alexa and Nikki have one of the... Which brand? Is it Raw?
I think it's SmackDown.
Is it SmackDown? Or is it Raw?
It's God.
Oh no, it's Raw.
It's Raw, yeah.
Because that's when Nikki fought Bailey.
Yes.
Right. But
Bailey's on both.
who has the SmackDown Women's
Wild
tag teams?
card.
Who is the SmackDown Women's? Is it?
I think no. Oh God.
Who is it?
This is bad.
The fact
No.
The fact that we watch this every week and we don't know is bad.
Well, yeah. There's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot to keep track of. Like the titles. Some titles change so quickly and the other ones don't. Like the tag team titles switch like so many times, and like the
They don't know what to do with tag team.
yeah.
They're fucking confused, dude. They don't know what the fuck's happening.
The Intercontinental and North America one, I get confused because they look similar.
They are very similar.
So you were asking who the SmackDown Women's Champion
Yeah.
is? That's Becky Lynch.
No,
It's not. She's Raw. I mean, for
Raw.
tag team.
Oh, SmackDown Tag Team?
Yeah.
One second.
Yeah, it's but the fact that we don't know, it's kind of and I know we are the ringside casuals, but
Well, I could probably remember, but it's just stuff gets cut out of episodes. You know?
they just cut all the women's tag. There's not a lot of women's matches, honestly. And then when they
No.
do happen, they're like 50-50 or they're good or not.
Because you have Ember Moon, Bailey, and
Lacey Evans, unfortunately.
Lacey Evans is on the fence.
The SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Mm-hmm.
Women's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Then who's Raw then?
Yeah, who's Raw? 'Cause I thought they were
fuck.
SmackDown because they fought Bailey, but
No, but Bailey was on Raw.
yeah, but
But then so was Nikki
Card.
Cross.
Yeah.
Wait, so 2 SmackDown people had a Raw match.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wild.
Hold on a second.
He's like, I don't believe this.
Oh, they don't have a separate one for Raw and SmackDown
Wait.
for women's tag team.
Oh no, that's true.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, yeah,
That's ass.
Yeah.
Vince, fix it.
yeah, it's weird.
That's broken.
That's very odd.
Fix that. I know you don't care about tag team, but like if you're gonna have like 2 different brands, they have to have their own titles.
But it's weird how like SmackDown with the whole murder mystery plot, that was the main thrust. But previously and historically, Raw has always been more of we're the really important one. SmackDown's like supporting us.
Yeah.
Like we'll show you stuff that happened on Raw, but Raw won't show stuff that happened on SmackDown last week.
Yeah. But
then
now
they
that Roman's on SmackDown, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Okay.
Well, this has been a good first episode.
Yeah, we covered a lot, and
I look forward to Clash of Champions.
Clash of Champions is gonna be fun.
yeah,
This will be interesting once we throw NXT and AEW into the mix, but
Yeah.
I think we'll have
We might need to do 2
I think
episodes.
two episodes, one for Raw and SmackDown, one for NXT and AEW, because those ones are directly competing. So I think comparison would be easier when they're isolated,
That's fair.
and Raw
Yeah.
and SmackDown is easier because it's just
Back to back.
back-to-back story. So
Yeah, so one will be Red and Blue, other one will be Wednesday Night Wars.
yeah, red versus blue,
Yeah.
and then Wednesday Night Wars. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We are the Ringside Casuals. I'm Josiah.
I'm Sal.
And I'm Nathan.
Have a great night.
God bless America.